so many times at camp we talk about, I think it was 2 camps ago, might have been June of this year, we had a parent say the grief that she has felt from this. And, and the word shame came up. It comes up a lot at camp. And we really do talk in the trenches about that because we're embarrassed as parents. Like, why is my kid not saying hello and goodbye and thank you? And what am I doing wrong as a parent? I think this is a whole separate podcast we can do and talking about it. And maybe we do that because I think it's really important for parents to understand that this is a journey, but to try to shift your thought process to help accept where you're at, but also know there's so much hope. Like, I tell parents this all the time, like, think about all that you're going to accomplish from this. Like, this is the starting point. I mean, I've had people say to me, oh, it must be so sad. It must be so hard working with that pup. I'm like, are you kidding me? It is amazing because I realize when I work with family, this is the beginning, at least from my journey with them. And it's only going to go up. It's going to happen. And I always say, it's like bank robber rules. Do what I tell you and everything will work out. But the truth is, it's hope. It's inspiration. Absolutely. And that's what the Shining Star episodes are about. It's giving families hope. It's Absolutely. Realizing, okay, here's where I'm at. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to understand it. I'm going to learn and I'm going to do. And your child is going to do well. They're going to reach their capacity 100%. Right. If you do the work. If you're expecting us to cure them overnight, that doesn't work that way. We teach you the skills. The children learn. They begin to understand acknowledgement and assessment. They learn about the bridge. You learn it. You learn the skills. You train the teachers. And it just keeps moving. And then you're a Josiah.
Yeah. Well, and that's sort of what was happening sort of behind the scenes when he was having that moment of being the shining star and presenting on Mercury. In my mind, I thought he can be whatever he wants to be. Like he's going to be okay, and you start off with this fear of, is my child going to be able to go out in the world and live on their own? And, just all these questions of, is he going to be okay? And when I saw him up there doing that, I was like, he's going to be fine. He can do whatever he wants to do. And I also had a talk with his teacher. So he has the same teacher this year that he had last year. And I reminded her, I said, this time last year, he wasn't walking in the classroom. Like we couldn't get him in the classroom because he had, we had hit a barrier and we had taken steps back. And that's when we decided to introduce the medication. And she said to me, oh my gosh, I think I just blocked that out, because this year was so different than last year. And so I think that's important too, is that, just a little over a year ago, we were really hurting and struggling as a family and wondering what to do next, wondering if he was going to be able, he goes to a small private school and we were wondering, like, is he even going to be able to stay there? Can they even accommodate him? And so I think that's important too, that I don't want it to sound like rainbows and butterflies. It's been a hard journey. And I also know that, next year we could be struggling again, but we're going to be okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think giving the teachers the tools is really important as well. Did you do that? I guess you met with them or?
Yeah. So Jennifer, actually, we did one of the coaching sessions with Jennifer where we did FaceTime with her. And it was so basically all of the teachers from his school who interact with him were there. And she did an amazing training with them where she taught them the communication bridge. I had already given it to all of them, but, she did a wonderful job of explaining it and addressing their questions. So that was something that, I figured out that we could do in another state, was get the consulting and that was huge for the teachers to be informed around what he was needing. So that was a great resource for us for sure.
No, for sure. And, the nice thing now for families, I mean, you're a psychologist and you did so much of this and he's doing unbelievable, but there's so many families out there that they don't have local professionals that they're working with, that they, that the progress is being made, or there's just no local therapists. So at least we offer telehealth across the country in various states. So the SIPAC, we call it. So we have, we're able to offer that. And then in states we're not licensed in, we do parent coaching and training. We can always do so. For our listeners, finding a professional to help guide you, because kids should not stay stagnant. They should continue to make progress, some quicker than others, as you're dealing with different whys in their life, meaning like what else is contributing to the social communication anxiety, that it's not just get comfortable and voila, the children just start to speak and are like confident, but working on their independence, working on their self-confidence. These are all areas too that we have to help kids with too, because they become very dependent. And I notice that's a big area that we have to work on with them often, is helping them find those areas of interest and really thriving in those areas. It builds their confidence that fuels everything else.
Right. Yeah. And, for Joe, that's swimming has been a huge help for him. He actually he has an amazing OT. So he had some infant reflexes that hadn't integrated properly. So that was part of his sensory issues. She's a psychologist and doesn't know it. Like, she's just remarkable, and comes to his school. She is the first person that he spoke to other than family. She started with him in January, and it took her until September for him to speak with her. But she did it, and now she's one of his most favorite people on the planet. So that was a huge part of his journey as well. And she recommended swimming for him, and so swimming is just so helpful for his body and his mind. He has friends on the team. He gets in trouble doing things he shouldn't be doing, so he's kind of a clown. Yeah.
His true personality.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm looking at all the different topics we were going to talk about, and we integrated so much of it within the conversation. This has been great, inspirational. Any last minute words?
I think we've, I had some notes, and I think we've covered most of it. I really appreciate, just letting me come on, and I'm very grateful for you and the work that you're doing. It really has, changed the trajectory of our lives as a family.